questions on that last slide about half reactions, I'm just going to kind of quickly review this page because this is your reference. So half reactions balance the equation by including the electrons in that equation. So the electrons are going to be on one side of the arrow, either the left side or the right side. And they're going to go on the side of the equation where the atom is more positive. So for example, if you're looking at magnesium with a 2+ charge, if you want to get it to pure, like neutral magnesium, then you're going to need to add 2 electrons to it. So it's just kind of explaining it so that this process makes sense, but as a rule of thumb, the electrons that you write are always going to go on the side of the arrow where the atom is more positive. In this case, the magnesium is +2 on the left, and it's neutral or 0 on the right, so that's why the 2 electrons go on the left side. If you have multiple atoms, like if you see a coefficient in front, then just multiply the number of electrons that it would normally be by that coefficient. So because each of these magnesiums is losing 2 electrons in this process, then 2 magnesium atoms, 2 electrons each, that's why there's 4 electrons total. In these next 2 examples, you've got 2 chlorines, because remember chlorine is part of Brinkelhoff. If we give 2 electrons away, then each of those chlorines can become -1. And then if we just make it so there's 4 chlorines, then that's why you have to have 4 electrons. And it's just moving in the opposite direction, going from negative to neutral. In this case, the neutral is more positive than the negative, and so that's why the electrons are on that side. So looking at these practice problems. So I have this on my iPad. It's not a Google slide here, so I can't actually drag those over, so I'm just going to write them in. But if you're looking at this first one, aluminum we have 3 electrons that are lost here. So there's only 1 aluminum atom, so you only need to focus on 3 electrons, and you put the electrons on the side that's more positive. So we're going to have +3 there. Next, you've got 2 bromine atoms, and each of those bromine, well actually they're ions, has gained 2 electrons. It has a -1 charge, and it's just becoming pure bromine. So in this case, the more positive side is the right, so we're going to put our electrons right here, and each of those bromines is losing 1 electron. So we're going to put +2 electrons, because there's 2 bromines. Next, we've got pure sodium by itself becoming a sodium with a +1 charge. So our electrons go on the right side, the more positive side, and there's only 1 electron being transferred and 1 atom. So we just need +1e. And then finally, our last one, we've got 2 oxygens. Each of them is gaining 2 electrons in this process. So that is going to be 2 electrons from each oxygen, 4 electrons total. And this time we're putting it on the left side, because this is the side where the oxygen is neutral, and it is more positive than being negative on the right side. I hope this helps. Let me know if you still have questions.